Halo semuanya, di video kali ini Koko akan bahas Past Paper EJU tahun 2018 untuk first session. Dan yang kita akan bahas adalah course 2. Di video ini Koko akan bahas untuk soal pertama dan kedua yang berasal dari section pertama. Nanti di video berikutnya Koko akan bahas section-section yang berikutnya. Sebelum Koko mulai pembahasannya, bagi kalian semua yang mungkin belum subscribe channel YouTube Koko, silahkan di-subscribe terlebih dahulu supaya kalian bisa terus dapat update ketika Koko mengupload video pembahasan yang lainnya. Karena Koko sudah mulai akan fokus lagi atau mengupdate secara rutin video-video pembahasan di channel YouTube Koko. Kita langsung aja lihat soal yang pertama. Di soal yang pertama, ini ngomongin tentang quadratic function. Jadi dia bilang, let us consider the quadratic function bla bla bla. Jadi kita diberikan sebuah quadratic function where a is a real number. Jadi di sini a-nya adalah bilangan real. Pertanyaan yang pertama, the coordinates of the vertex of the graph are bla bla bla. Jadi kita ditanya koordinat dari vertex of the graph. Vertex ini adalah titik puncak atau biasa kita sebut sebagai stationary point. Nah, since we have a quadratic equation, then if we want to find the vertex of x, we can use the formula x equals to negative b over 2a. That's the formula to calculate or to obtain the vertex of x. So x equals to negative b over 2a. Negative b over 2a. b is the coefficient of x and a is the coefficient of x squared. So if I substitute b, which is negative 2a minus 1 over 2 times a, the value of a is 1 over 4, I will obtain negative and negative, we can cancel out it. So we will get 2a minus 1 over 1 over 2. If we simplify it, we will obtain x is equals to 4a minus 2. This is the x coordinates of the vertex of this function. Jadi Koko udah dapat nih nilai a-nya adalah 4, kemudian b-nya adalah 2. Jadi ini jawaban kita. Nah, setelah kita dapat nilai dari x, nilai vertex dari x, kita bisa cari nilai vertex dari y dengan mensubstitusikan x ini ke dalam quadratic equation kita. So if I substitute x into this equation, I will obtain the coordinates of y of the vertex of this graph. So let's substitute x into this equation. I will get y equals to 1 over 4, x is 4a minus 2 squared, minus 2a minus 1 times 4a minus 2 plus a. And then if we simplify this expression, we will get 1 over 4 times, let us expand this equation or this expression, 16a squared minus 2 times 4 times negative 2, which is negative 16a plus 4 minus, let's expand this expression too. If we multiply it 1 by 1, we will obtain 8a squared minus 4a and then minus another 4a, minus 4, we got minus 8a, and then the last term is negative 1 times negative 2, which is plus 2. And then plus a. And then we expand this expression. I will get 4a squared minus 4a plus 1 And then don't forget to multiply the negative sign inside or into the brackets. We will get negative a square plus 8a negative 2 plus a. 4a square minus 8a square is negative 4a square. And then negative 4a plus 8a plus a. Negative 4 plus 8 is 4. And then 4a plus a is 5a. And then the last term is 1 minus 2. 1 minus 2 is negative 1. This is the y coordinates of the vertex. Once again, we obtain the y coordinates of the vertex. So we already get the value of C, D, and E. A and B is 4 and 2. And then C is 4, D is 5, and then A is negative 1. C, D, and E. Jadi kita udah dapat nilai dari A, B, C, D, dan E-nya. Seperti yang kalian bisa lihat di sini. Berikutnya, pertanyaan kedua dia bilang, kita diminta untuk mencari nilai A. Jadi dia bilang the range of A, berapakah rentang nilai A, supaya grafik y equals to fx and the x-axis intersect at two different points A and B. So if we draw this graph, it will intersect the x-axis at two different points, A and B. Since this is a quadratic equation, so the shape of the graph will parabolic. So if I illustrate the graph, it should be something like this. Inilah gambar grafiknya secara kurang lebihnya seperti itu. Nah, karena grafik kita memotong sumbu X di 2 titik, maka B kuadrat min 4AC, which is the discriminant of the quadratic function, must be greater than 0. Jadi untuk mengetahui range of A, such that the graph y equals to fx, and the x-axis intersect at two different points A and B, we can use the condition the discriminant of this quadratic equation must be greater than 0. B square minus 4AC must be greater than 0. B square minus 4AC greater than 0. B is negative 2A minus 1. Negative 2A minus 1 square minus 4 times A is 1 over 4, and then C is the term independent of X, which is A. So, negative 4 times 1 over 4 times A. This equation must be greater than 0. Negative square is positive 1, so we can ignore it. 2A minus 1 square, if we expand, we will obtain 4A square minus 4A plus 1. And then negative 4 times 1 over 4 is negative 1. Negative 1 times A, negative A. Greater than 0. If we simplify it, we will obtain 4A square minus 5A plus 1 greater than 0. Let's continue here. If we factorize this quadratic equation, we will obtain 4A minus 1, A minus 1 greater than 0. So I will get two critical value of A, which is 1 over 4 and then 1. And then we have to use the number line since we have an inequality here. So I will draw the number line and then put the critical values there. I have 1 over 4 and 1. And then we determine the sign in this region. Let's say I substitute 0, 0 is in this region. If I substitute 0 to that equation, then I will obtain positive. So in this region, the sign is positive. And then in this region, the sign will be negative. And then in that region, the sign is once again positive. After that, since I want the region which is greater than 0, it means positive, right? Greater than 0 means positive value. Then this is the region that satisfies the inequality. So the solution is a less than 1 over 4 or a greater than 1. So we already obtained the answer of this question. F is 1, a less than 1 over 4. So F is 1 and G is 4. And then a greater than H, a greater than 1. This is the answer of the second questions. Kita lanjut ke pertanyaan yang terakhir. The range of x such that the x coordinates of both points A and B in 2 are greater than or equal to 0 and less than or equal to 6. Jadi yang soal ini tanyakan adalah berapa rentang nilai A supaya x koordinat dari dua titik yang kita sudah gambar tadi, inilah titik A dan titik B misalnya. Berapa nilai A supaya titik A dan titik B yang tadi Koko gambar di sini are greater than or equal to 0 and less than or equal to 6. Jadi nilai A dan B ini, koordinat A dan B ini, harus lebih besar atau sama dengan 0 atau lebih lebih kecil atau sama dengan 6. Berapa nilai A-nya? Nah, to answer this question, we have some conditions that must be satisfied by this expression. The first conditions, of course, since we have 2 point of intersection with x-axis, so the first condition is this. The discriminant must be greater than 0. So our first condition is a must be less than 1 over 4 or a must be greater than 1. This is the first condition. And then what is the second condition? If x coordinates of point A and B greater than or equal to 0 and less than or equal to 6, then xa plus xb, xa plus xb must be between 0 until 12. xa can be 0, xb can be 0. So xa plus xb must be between 0 until 12. Must be between 0 until 12. What is xa plus xb? If we have a quadratic equation like this, 1 over 4x squared minus 2a minus 1x and then plus a. From this quadratic equation, if we use Vieta's rule, xa plus xb is negative b over a. Negative b over a. So 0 is less than negative b over a. Less than 12. We can cancel out negative here. And then I can times the whole inequalities by 1 over 4. 1 over 4 times 0 is 0. Less than 1 over 4 times this. 1 over 4 will be cancelled out. And then the remaining is 2a minus 1 less than 12 times 1 over 4 is 3. And then plus 1, the whole inequalities. Then 1 less than 2a less than 4. And then if I divide the whole inequalities by 2, the condition is 1 over 2 less than a less than 2. This is the second condition that must be satisfied by this or on these questions. How about the another conditions? Except xa plus xb, we can also assume that xa times xb must be between 0, since the minimum value of x is 0. xa times xb must be between 0 until 36. 0 until 36. It can be 0 because if one of them is 0, 0 times another number must be equal to 0. So it is possible xa times xb equals to 0. But it is impossible xa times xb is 36. Because if one number is 6 and then the other number is impossible to be 6. It must be less than 6. 6 times less than 6 is less than 36. So in the 0 side, I will put equals to. And then what is xa times xb? Once again, by using Vieta's rule or Vieta's formula, xa times xb is c over a. So 0 less than or equals to a over 1 over 4, that is c over a, less than 36. If we multiply the whole inequalities by 1 over 4, I will get 0 less than or equals to a less than 9. This is the third condition that must be satisfied for this statement. And then what else? What another condition that must be satisfied so that x coordinate of both point A and B are greater than or equal to 0 and less than or equals to 6? The last condition that must be satisfied is the value of y. If A and B, let I draw another parabola, something like this, and then like this. And then let us assume this is A, this is B. The value of f0, let's say this is 0 and this is 6, yeah? The value of f0 must be positive and the value of f of 6 must be positive. So the last condition is f of 0 must be greater than or equal to 0. It can be 0 because A can be on origin. So f of 0 must be greater than 0. And also f of 6 must be greater than or equal to 0. It also can be 0 because if B is on that point, then f of 6 is 0. So it can be 0 or greater than it, greater than 0. F of 0 greater than or equal to 0. What is f of 0? Just substitute 0 to the equation. I will get 1 over 4 times 0 square minus 2a minus 1 times 0 plus a greater than or equal to 0. This is 0 and this is also 0. So I get a greater than or equal to 0. And then f of 6 must be also greater than 0. F of 6 must be greater than or equal to 0. Just substitute x by using 6. We will get 1 over 4 times 6 square minus 2a minus 1 times 6 plus a greater than or equal to 0. 36 divided by 4 is 9. Minus, simplify this expression, minus 12a plus 6 plus a greater than or equal to 0. 9 plus 6 is 15 minus 11a greater than or equal to 0. Negative 11a greater than or equals to negative 15, then a, don't forget to reverse the sign because we divide it by using negative sign or negative value. So a must be less than or equals to 15 over 11. So our last condition is a greater than 0, but a must also less than or equals to 15 over 11. So the last condition is 0 until 15 over 11. This is 4 conditions that must be satisfied so that x coordinates of both point A and B are greater than or equal to 0 and less than or equals to 6. But what is our final answer then? Our final answer is the intersection of these 4 conditions. So I will draw another number line. And then find the intersection of these 4 conditions. The first condition is a less than 1 over 4, a more than 1. Let's say this is 1 over 4 and this is 1. Less than 1 over 4, greater than 1. This is the first condition. And then the second condition is between half and 2. Let's say this is half. I will use different color. And this is 2. Between half and 2, this is the region. And then what is the third one? The third one is between 0 until 9. This is 0 and this is 9. Between 0 until 9 is this. Between 0 until 9. And our last condition is between 0 until 15/11. 15/11 is less than 2. So I assume 15/11 is here. 15/11, and then from 0 until 15/11. So it should be like this. Okay. If you see from this number line, we can see that the region which satisfied by those 4 inequality is here. That's the region satisfied by those 4 inequality. Then this is our final answer. So the final answer is A must be between 1 and 15/11. So letter I here is 1, and then J and K is 1 and 5, L and M is 1 and 1. This is our final answer for the first question. This is 1, and then 1, 5, 1, 1. Nah, ini untuk soal yang pertama. Sekarang kita pindah ke soal yang kedua. Soal yang kedua ini tentang probability. Soalnya bilang, we have 4 cards of different sizes. Jadi kita punya 4 kartu yang ukurannya berbeda. Jadi kartunya itu ukurannya beda-beda. We are to paint each card either red, black, blue, or yellow. Kemudian kita akan kasih warna kartunya. Warnanya itu boleh merah, hitam, biru, atau yellow. However, we may paint more than 1 card with the same color. Jadi kita boleh nih kasih warna yang sama untuk lebih dari 1 kartu. Jadi let's say kalau Koko maunya merah semua juga boleh. Koko mau 1 merah, 1 biru, 2 lagi hitam, itu juga boleh. Nah, pertanyaan pertama, there are a total of blah 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 ways of painting the cards. Di soal yang pertama, kita pengen kasih warna, tapi nggak ada aturan apapun. Jadi kita boleh kasih warna apapun. So let's say for the first card, we have 4 options. We can paint it red, or black, or blue, or yellow. So for the first card, we have 4 possibilities. And then the same thing for the second cards. After I have painted the first card, for the second card, once again, I have 4 possibilities, which is red, black, blue, or yellow. So this is also 4 possibility. And then for the third card is the same. And then it's also the same for the last card. So there are a total of 4 to the power of 4, which is 256 ways of painting the card with no restriction. So NOP is 256. And then for the second questions, there are blah blah ways of painting them using all 4 colors. So in this question, there is a restriction, which is we have to use all 4 colors. We have to use red, black, blue, and yellow. So let's think about, for the first card, if I have the first card, I still have 4 possibility or 4 option. Which color do I choose? So for the first card, I have 4 possibility. And then for the second card, I only have 3 possibility. So let's say I use red for the first card. So for the second card, I cannot use red. I only have black, blue, or yellow. So for the second card, I only have 3 possibility. And then for the third card, let's say for the first card, I use red. And then for the second card, I use black. For the third card, the options left is only 2, which is blue and yellow. So for the third card, I only have 2 possible color. And then for the last card, I only have 1 possible color. 4 times 3 is 12. 12 times 2 is 24. So there are 24 ways of painting them using all 4 colors. The third questions, there are blah 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 ways of painting 2 card red, 1 card black, 1 card blue. On this question, the restriction is we only use red, black, and blue. But out of 4 cards, we have to use red twice, and then 1 for black, and then 1 for blue. So the first thing is, from those 4 cards, we have to choose 2 cards and then painting them using red card. From 4 cards, choose 2. So we can use combination 4C2. After 4C2, we only have 2 cards left. And then from those 2 cards left, I will choose 1 and then use the black color. So 4C2 times 2C1, and then the last one is 1C1. After I choose 1 card and give black, the card that left is only 1, and then from that 1 card, we choose 1 and use blue color. So 4C2 times 2C2 times 1C1. 4C2 is equals to 4 factorial over 4 minus 2 factorial, 2 factorial. 4 factorial over 2 factorial, 2 factorial. 4C2, if you calculate this, we will obtain 6. 2C1 is 2, and then 1C1 is 1. So the final answer is, there are 12 ways of painting 2 cards red, 1 card black, and 1 card blue. This is the answer for the third questions. Let's move on to the fourth questions. There are blah 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 ways of painting the 4 card using 3 colors. Now I want to paint 4 card but only use 3 colors. First thing first is, since we have 4 different colors and then we only want to use 3 colors, so first thing first is I will choose the color that I will use to paint our card. So from 4 color, we choose 3. 4 choose 3 is 4C3. This is the number of way of choosing 4 for choosing 3 colors out of 4 for C3. And then think about, let's say I already obtain or I already have 3 colors. Let's say I have red, black, and yellow. For C3, we choose 3 colors out of 4. And then let's say the color that I have chosen is red, black, and yellow. After we get these 3 colors, there's still 3 possibilities of painting the card. What I mean is, it can be 2 red, 1 blue, 1 yellow, or 1 red, 2 blue, 1 yellow, or 1 red, 1 blue, 2 yellow. So after for C3, I have to times it by 3. Because each possibility from this, we have 3 different ways. And then, let's say, I will pick this 2 red, 1 blue, and 1 yellow. How many possibility to painting 4 cards by using 2 red, 1 blue, and 1 yellow is the same as this. So for each of this, there's still 12 possibility. So for C3 times 3 times 12. For C3 is 4. 4 times 3 is 12. 12 times 12 is 144. So there are 144 ways of painting the 4 cards using 3 colors. So if I repeat it once again, for C3 is the number of ways to choose 3 colors out of 4 colors. And then after we got the 3 colors, there's still 3 possibilities of painting the card. Using 2 red, 1 blue, 1 yellow, or 2 blue, 1 red, 1 yellow, or 2 yellow, 1 red, 1 blue. That's for the 3 here. And then for each possibilities here, we have 12 ways of painting it. So the final answer is 144. Okay, let's move to the final question. There are blah 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 ways of painting them using 2 colors. On the previous question, we used 3 colors. On this question, we only use 2 colors. Same as the previous one, first thing first is we have to choose the color first. I will choose 2 out of 4 colors. I will choose 2 out of 4 colors for C2. After I got 2 colors, after I got 2 different colors, for each 2 different colors, let's say I already picked red and yellow, there's still another possibility. It can be 3 red, 1 yellow, or 2 red, 2 yellow, or 1 red, 3 yellow. So this is for the color and this is for the card. 3 red, 1 yellow. We have 4 cards and then we have to choose 3 and give it red color. For C3 times the rest is 1C1 plus 4C2 times 2C2 plus 4C1 times 3C3. This is from picking the color. We choose 2 out of 4 color. And then this is to paint the card. 4C3 times 1C1. So 3 red, 1 yellow. If we assume I already picked red and yellow. 4C2 is 6. 4C3 is 4. 4C2 is 6. 4C1 is 4. 4 plus 6, 10. 10 plus 4, 14. 14 times 6, 84. So that there are 84 ways of painting them using 2 colors. This is for the second questions. Oke, Koko selesai sampai di sini untuk pembahasan video kali ini. In the next video, Koko bakal bahas soal yang selanjutnya. Thank you buat kalian semua yang udah nonton dan ikut belajar bareng Koko dari video ini. Semoga video ini bermanfaat dan bisa dimengerti oleh kalian semua. Sekali lagi thank you semuanya. Kita ketemu lagi di video berikutnya.